book review on The Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes. Turbocharge Your Business with Relentless Focus on 12 Key Strategies. What a great book. This guy Chet is just the author himself is a character. You could tell he's a no-nonsense type of guy. If you're okay with the way he talks and you can get comfortable with his intense reading style, he has a lot of information here to share. At its highest level, I like reading books like this because this is Chet's time where he took everything he'd learned and put it all into one book. You can tell that this isn't the type of book where this guy is literally writing for a living like someone like Seth Godin, who's a great author, but he writes books all the time. This guy Chet only planned on, it would appear, writing this one book, and every scrap of knowledge you could possibly have is in this book. It's a little bit out of date, but it's still a great book. Talks all about how to get clients, how to close deals, strategies for staying organized and efficient, and ways to organize email titles and headlines and communicate, and when not to, how to structure your day, different exercises on how to accomplish tasks, ways to manage tasks. But he writes it in a very great balance of storytelling and actionable ideas of why you should be doing this stuff. And he has unique different strategies that he has tried, and one of my favorite things about the book is actually the specific examples that he gives. He doesn't just tell you, hey, you need to write an email and it needs to sound like this. He tells you, hey, you need to write an email and this is exactly what you need to say. And then you can just take the template and say, hey, that's a nice little email, I'm going to write it like that. That's the kind of thing that sometimes it's nice to read books like that, because you end up picking things up and applying things that are actionable. Not every book you read has to be this really high level, opening your mind up type of read. Sometimes you could just get a book that's got some great ideas, fun little stories, and actionable, effective changes you can make in your day-to-day that make it really worth reading. And that's the type of book this is. Here's an example of one of the chapter names: The Nitty-Gritty of Getting the Best Buyers, Step-by-Step, Day-by-Day Tactics to Land Your Dream Clients. And he's not kidding. They really are step-by-step, day-by-day tactics. He gives different worksheets of how to fill out your activities for a weekly basis. How many cold calls did you make? How many CEOs did you talk to? How many meetings did you set? How many appointments got canceled? How many got made? And then review your performance throughout the week. And it's a really great way to stay on top of yourself, or if you're a manager, on top of your employees that you're responsible for. He gives different strategies of using fax machines to your advantage and old world ways of getting in front of people, and how to give them gifts of knickknacks so they're not too much money and they're cute and you get a response. It's just very unique, very effective, great strategies. And for many of you, if you're listening to this and you're in sales, it's just going to be friendly reminders that are always good to hear no matter what. And there will, I guarantee, be one or two things within this book that you haven't heard before, and if you read it close, will stand out. And if you try it, they may end up working. I do recommend this book really, really highly. It was very effective for me as we're starting an ad agency and needed to sign clients. So if you're looking for a book on how to get more business and more organized with anything you're doing, really, it doesn't have to be sales, but specifically signing clients, I definitely recommend The Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes. That's another book review. My name is Bobby Dietz. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next one. I was actually told a story with somebody who heard him in a podcast, said that when he was a sales director, he had treats out for every conference meeting, and if you didn't hit your sales numbers, you couldn't actually eat the treats. So only people that hit their sales numbers in these meetings were able to eat. That's pretty hardcore. And that's kind of a good example of how this guy is. You can tell he's no nonsense, all about his business, all about closing, always be closing type of guy.